Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video to the channel. Welcome to another episode of our brand new series with a new era account, Grab the Hog. So in the previous episode, we did a lot of monthly stuff, we caught up a lot, and we also did quite a lot of camping for some charms, and we used our troll invasion book, so we are now level 46 agility. In this episode, we're basically just going to continue the momentum, we're going to level some stuff up, and picking out quest stats now, which I think are worthwhile doing and also getting. This is why we are sat here cooking. So we have just got level 30 cooking. The reason why we've done this is because this is going to give us access to Beneath Cursed Tides. We now have all the levels required for that. We now have all the levels for Big Chompy Bird Hunting and also Taiwano Trio and Evil Dave's Big Day Out, which, to be fair, Evil Dave's Big Day Out is actually a big quest reward as well. So that might be something we'll jump in and do quite quickly. But yeah, just a couple of quick, easy levels. Again, there are still some levels in my stats, which will be quick and easy levels, which is really nice. Now, I'm just going to go to the Grand Exchange really quickly because we have put some offers to buy some stuff on the Grand Exchange. Actually, I'll just show you from the collection box. In the previous episode, we went to Cave Bugs and camped out a very decent stack of charms. So we have 445 gold and 670 green charms. So what I've done to get summoning started, I have bought 100 chickens. Now, I'm hoping that 100 chickens, which were over mid, actually I had to buy them for 2.5k, should get me to the level I want to, where I can then do the crabs. So from level 4, that's when we can do the Dreadfowls. The Dreadfowls is what you basically unlock from starting the quest. So the next level I want to get to before I change up what I want to do is level 16. So the reason why I've skipped things like thorny snails and some other stuff is because the secondary is a bit too annoying to buy. A granite crab is simply just an iron ore. And when we get to level 18, a desert worm is basically just a bucket of sand. And to be fair, that's what I think I'm going to stick with basically until I run out of charms. Compost mound is also a decent one at level 28 because, again, compost you can buy very easily. The giant chinchomper, not worth it. I don't really want to use blues or crimsons. So I'm just going to kind of like just tick along and just see what's around. But the beaver, willow logs, that's a pretty decent one as well. That's actually one which actually might make us a little bit of profit actually when we go and check that out. So the beaver's there, and yeah, that's hopefully going to be the plan, but there should be some decent ones dotted around. Marigolds for a bull ant at level 40 is pretty decent. The macaw, we know how good the macaw is, so just actually like getting green charms at a minute, we can use a macaw, make some profit, and also level up our summoning as well. So green charms really isn't that bad of a move. Yes, they're a little bit expensive, but as we've proved in multiple episodes now, we can make the money and we can move forward with like having to spend the cash as well. If I'm going to spend some cash, spending it on summoning really isn't that bad of a choice because, again, summoning is going to give us some massive benefits going forward as well. And in terms of this episode, that's some quests, some more levels and some more stuff as well is what the plan is. I would like at some point to go and upgrade the fort because, again, we can do the workshop now once we've upgraded the workshop to a tier 2, but that's actually going to cost quite a bit of GP as well. But I think having the fort upgraded is something which is worthwhile doing. I also probably want to go and train thieving. The doors are now fixed, so I need to just grab some lockpicks and go and do a stint thieving and get it like, even if it's like 40 or 45, that's nice. Or I could go and do the feud tonight. I'm kind of deciding what I want to do with that, but the feud is an option. And yeah, apart from that, it's literally just going and just doing some more stuff. We can go and do some more combat as well. I'm more than happy to go and do a little bit more in terms of a stint of the cave bugs. The cave bugs are nice for an AFK. They're not really much of a problem. But yeah, really, I'm just in the mood to just keep skilling, just keep playing, just keep enjoying the game and go from there. In terms of money making, I'm not really in the mood to do it. I don't really want to do much more AFKing because I imagine when I'm going to travel over next week, I'm going to do plenty of AFKing. But look at that bank value, 177 mil. Now, I need to see that 177 mil, but yeah, it's not bad at all. Like, the teak frames aren't selling, but they'll sell eventually. And this is the one annoying thing with like teak and stuff as well, is that teak is one of those where it's used just simply to upgrade the fort. It's not really used as a training one because when people have completed the quest, they kind of already passed the teak level of stuff as well. So you can be a bit of a problem there. And I think a lot of people have sort of gone to frames to go and do them for both XP and GP. And it's just crashed the price a little bit, so we shall see. Now, for whatever reason, buckets of sand took ages to buy, but we've just bought a big chunk there. So the stint of summoning will happen, a little bit of skilling, and yeah, let's just see where we get going. But thank you guys so much for your support. If you are brand new to the series, brand new to the channel, please make sure to leave me a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's jump on it and let's go and get some gains on the account. Okay, so we've been doing a little bit of thieving. So I went and tried out the jails again. I would say the bottom or the south side jails are so nice now. The fact you don't have to hop just means you can go and stay on the high priority doors with the most XP. And it's just nice and chill, to be fair. This is really a good update. I'm a big fan of this for the early game. You can see your thieving progress, you get thieving XP drops throughout it. And literally, it's just a really nice method to train on. But I started at 33 and we got 45 all in one little stint while watching a couple of YouTube videos, which is really nice. So from 45, we've been able to unlock a massive amount of quests. So 45 Thieving has got his Fairy Tale 2, Cure a Queen. Spirits of the Lead, we also have Temple of Ikov, Land of Goblins, Hunt for the Red Raktuber, the Elemental Workshop 4, and I think that's the brutal one. There's one Elemental Workshop which just is pure horrific. Like, I remember doing it with my head in my hands, trying to watch the video guide, just not being able to do it. It's a huge puzzle, and I'm pretty sure it's number 4. And we've also got the next quest for the Thieving Guild, the Lost Her Marbles quest, which is actually a pretty decent one, actually. You get some decent thieving XP. So to actually complete the Thieving Guild, I do need to do the feud. Well, I need to start it, but you may as well finish it because we need to go and get the ability to Blackjack because we're going to need that for the final Kappa. In terms of what we're doing though, I'm going to have a little bit of a break, which is why I'm just going to sort of wrap this clip up. And then after that, I think we're going to train some summoning. We're going to see how far this summoning supply is going to get us in terms of the level. But just while I'm going to go make some food, I always sort of set myself up to go and do a little bit of a smithing stint. So at least while I'm making food or while I'm doing something, I'm still gaining XP. That's the kind of level I've now taken for this account too, where because smithing is just such a good AFK, like, no matter what I'm doing or what I'm like looking to do, I am always smithing. Like, as a minimum, smithing will be done. And I think that's why we've made so much progress with smithing, even though like smithing rune is not quick XP per hour. The fact that we're nearly 74 is just crazy. So what I'm going to do, go and smith this, go and make something to eat, and then we'll be back onto it, whether it's editing or playing. But we do definitely want to go and do some summoning. The stats actually, like, now I've started to round some stuff up, got some thieving levels and stuff like that. We are doing all right, you know, considering like archaeology is very low, dungeoneering is very low, necromancy is very low, slayer is very low as well. We've got a couple of stats which are kind of holding us back. If we bump those up to like the 30, 40s, we are definitely approaching the mid-combat very quickly. So really happy with that, and we'll just continue plodding on. But in terms of what I've got AFKing wise for a little bit, obviously we've got smithing. I'm going to go spend some money on my fort, so I'm going to upgrade the fort as much as I can. That should get me some construction levels as well, so we can further improve the fort as well. And if we go and do the town hall, that means we can then sort of delve into the Fort for Free storyline and unlock more and more things. The Woodcutter's Grove as well is very nice, so we could do that at some point as well. And yeah, just really continue to progress. We're doing really well. I'm enjoying playing the account. Like I said, like, I know when I'm enjoying playing an account is when I'm quite keen to just jump on it and just actually play. So that's really nice. But we are definitely approaching, I wouldn't say like mid-game, but we're definitely getting towards the higher end of a low game as well. So that is really cool just to see this account start to grow and get to a place. When we actually have our full fluid cash stack, that will be something to see, because then I think we'll have a nice big spending spree. It was nice to actually spend some money yesterday on the mage setup and some stuff like that. So yeah, we'll eventually go for a nice big setup. But I'm going to go and do this smithing. I'm going to go make some food. We'll come back and knock out some summoning levels, see what we can do in terms of that. And then we can have a bit of a play with some other stuff as well. Whether we go and do some other skills or some more AFKing, we shall find out. But I'll leave you guys here and then I'll report back when it's time to move on to the summoning levels. Okay, so we are back after our little break and we managed to AFK our way to 70 for smithing, which is really nice. That is actually going to be a requirement for a clockwork syringe and also the extra bar chance for Necronium as well. Actually, a very good moneymaker in a minute. Necronium bars and the Aurora Cowcome, and to be fair, all kind of smithing bars have the season to them where sometimes we're up in price, sometimes we're down in price. It just seems to be that at the minute, Necronium is one of the bars which is actually making some decent profit, roughly like 9 mil per hour, which is quite crazy really. The family crest is going to massively help us with like doing things like that in terms of moneymaker, because it will allow us to smith directly into the furnace, which will be very nice. So what we're going to go and do now is go and do some summoning. So to do this, I'm going to need some gold charms. I'm going to need my chickens noted, because what we're going to do is use the Tavely method to kind of spam this. Now with this method, you're kind of waving goodbye a lot of cash for it. You're basically going to do a more expensive method, but we'll be able to churn through charms so quick. And because we've got the massive buffer of the cash, and again, this is why we did it at an early stage as well, is that because we've got a little bit of cash to sort of work around with, we can kind of wave away a bit of cost to train summoning in a more efficient manner and also a quicker manner as well, which this is why I enjoy doing that money making segment, because I know that a small amount, especially at our lower fresher account level, will really just pay so much in dividends a little bit later on because we can move things so much quicker. Right, so to do summoning, we need to buy some spirit shards. These can be sold back to the pet shop for 25 GP each, so we can just buy as many as we want. We want to buy some pouches as well because they're what's going to make the pouch. And then when you go to the sell option, you can go and right click your secondary and sell all, which then means it's then available in the shop. And literally all you want to do is just go here and craft your pouch. And then because we don't have any way to like note these pouches or to put them into like a portable bank, because that's not an option at the minute, so we're just going to turn them into scrolls and basically just write off the GP we've invested both into the supplies and also for the shards as well. So it's just one of those things where you accept it, it is what it is, and we're just going to move forward and just keep doing the summoning really. But this is an incredible way to do binding contracts as well, but with the binding contracts, you're just going to sell all your secondaries and move on from there. Now, we want to get to level 18, which I think it's become quite clear I might not have enough chickens to do that. So we'll just see where we get to, and if I need to go and buy some more, I'll just go and buy some more. I think I might have to buy like another couple of hundred, to be fair. I'm hoping we've got enough in terms of like the gold charms to get to the level I want, because once we get the ability to use our green charms and use those buckets of sand, that's when I think we'll really fly and rack up some decent levels. So there is level 12. I don't think that's too bad. I'm going to go and run to the Grand Exchange really quickly because I have really undershot the amount of chickens I thought I need. And I'm going to go and buy some more buckets of sand as well because I think we can do a decent stint of summoning today. And even if we get into like the level 40s, it just means that when we get things like daily challenges and all the other stuff, we'll just get such a bigger amount of XP for it because our level is just bigger anyway. Now, we do have some items in the bank called Spirit Shards. Now, if you don't know what Spirit Shards do, they have a percentage chance to save you some charms. Now, because we've seen how good cave bugs are, I don't think it's worth using on things like golds and greens, because we can go and camp there for a little bit, we can go and train our stats up, and we can get a decent amount of XP while doing it. So they're quite freely sort of achievable, whereas like things like crimsons and blues, especially if it's lower level, a little bit harder to get because we're such a low level combat. So we're going to save our charms, our spirit gems for that occasion. So if we go and buy some more chickens, I'm going to go for 200. I'm hoping 200 can get it because I kind of want to have better charms available then. We have just spent nearly 2,000 for a chicken, which is a little bit sad, but you know, we move. So what I'm going to go do now is go and spam out all of these dreadfuls. So we're going to convert all these into the charms. And when we bank, I'll give you guys an update on what level we are as well, because we'll need to bank for the iron ore. And then after we've done the iron ore, then we'll go and bank for things for the green charms, which is going to beat those buckets of sand. So I'm going to go and spam this out now and we'll report back very shortly. So there we go, level 17 summoning there. So from that, we can do bringing home the bacon. We can now do the granite crab as well, which is going to be the iron ore. And this will pretty much see us now into the levels of green charms, which will be very nice. But as you can see here, after doing bringing home the bacon, we can get all the pigs. And I don't know if that's going to be a pakyaki familiar. We'll definitely delve into that because I think the different varieties of the pigs could be of different use as well. So we'll go and try those out. Again, these are some of the lower level content which was brought in after a lot of people got very high summoning levels. So whether they could be worthwhile using, we shall find out. They might also be as well pouches which are very low volume, which could make a lot of money as well. So luckily for us, dreadfowls are now done. We only need 142 of the iron ore because we've got 142 gold ore. This will definitely get us into the green charms because I think the green charms are level 18. That is for using the buckets of sand. So this will be very quick. We're going to blast through the rest of our gold charms. If I could just get like a couple levels into 20, I will be very happy with that. Again, even though the dreadfowls are really bad XP, they pretty much leveled us up very quick. I only took like 2-3 minutes worth of proper summoning, which is really nice because when you have the charms and when you have the supplies, and especially with this Tavli method, you go through the charms incredibly quick. I used to have to use one of these spirit kayaks. We had to teleport to Castle Wars and back, and that was very grindy. Now, this seems to be double the XP in terms of invos, so this is really nice. We should hopefully get a couple levels here. And I do think that once we've done all these charms, we'll know roughly where we are in terms of the level. And it might be something where we go back to the cave bugs and do another little session of just camping out and just getting the account a little bit stronger. Now, what I think I'm going to do, because we're going to have the ability to go to Dagon High Armor soon once we've done the quest tonight, I think it might be beneficial to keep training Mage to go to level 60. Having the Gothic Staff, having the Mage Cape and stuff, it just means we've got a very strong combat style, and I think that would be really beneficial when we want to go and hunt out some other things, like mainly the bigger tier charms. So we can go and go after things like blue charms and crimson charms from the cockroach workers, and also from some of the cow fights as well. We can go and try and see if we can manage the cow fights in the cow fight king hive, and I think that would mean that we'll get some real decent charms from there. So that I think is going to be the play. And again, like maybe it's an hour or two worth of sort of combat, and we'll get that. We're nearly 53, so I don't think it'll take too long. And I just think then we've got a very strong combat style. Go and do some of these bigger quests as well. So that's the plan anyway. But what we're going to do now, all of our gold charms are pretty much been used. We are now going to go and upgrade to green charms. This will be a massive jump up in XP, which I'm really looking forward to actually. I'm thinking this is going to be very, very quick. We are going to use 300 buckets of sand. And what I'm hoping, if this can get us into the 30s so I can make beavers, beavers have a chance to be profitable. And beavers and macaws are going to be our next two like green charms. We are really in a fortunate position where some of the green charm familiars are a little bit of profit. I don't think macaws are as good as what they were after 120 thieving. I don't think we're going to make huge amounts of profit, but we might even break even. And really, with summoning, that's all you can really ask for. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is crack through all of my green charms, and we'll report back when we finish the buckets of sand, and we'll show you guys how far into it we currently are. So there goes the first 200. So there goes the first 300 buckets of sand, level 31 summoning we're up to. And this is going to give us access to the spirits for summer, summer's end, and then also for whatever reason, 23 summoning is for wild gothic sleep. So in terms of what we've unlocked Spirit Scorpion, the Spirit Cow fight is not too bad. The Compost Mound actually is a very easy secondary to go and get as well. And then we've got some vampires and the giant chinchomper as well. So not quite at the level of a beaver, but I can actually go and get some quite quick secondaries if we just go and pick up some compost for the compost mounds. If I go to one of the farming shops, I'm just going to go stock up, come back, and we'll do it again. Only 2 levels to go until the beaver, so I don't think these green charms are going to get me quite as far as what I thought. I think if we could get to level 40 summoning, that would be a massive sort of starter move. Then we'll just go and camp a couple more hours at the cave bug and level ourselves up, and also get a nice big stack of charms ready to go for the next stage. Now, I thought you could buy noted compost. Turns out you cannot, so I'm just going to go to the Grand Exchange because I'm not buying and running back. I'll just buy it in bulk from the Grand Exchange and just pay a little bit more on top, and we'll get back to summoning. So I'll report back when we go through this compost. I'm going to buy 150, and hopefully that should get us to level 33 for the beavers. Okay, so we absolutely flew through that. It's wild really that that's probably taken me the best part of like 4 to 5 hours to go and get all those charms. And I blasted through them literally in 15 minutes. So we now have a mighty summoning level of level 39. Now this has given us access to quite a few more. We now have the honey badger, which is going to be crimson charms, and honeycomb, which, yeah, that's not bad. The beaver, which we've done and is marginally profitable as well. It depends what sort of price it buys for, but you can definitely make some money with some beavers. We have the void ones again, not really going to touch that. We have minotaurs. If I want to go and use some blue charms just to get level 40, which does give me access to things like the bull ant, which is nice for gold. That's going to be my best gold charm for a while. And what I'll probably actually go and do is go and slow buy some marigolds on the Grand Exchange for a little bit, because really after that there's nothing really which is going to be worthwhile in terms of like gold charms for a little while. The magpie's 47, that's the one I'm after, not for macaw. The macaw is quite useful because it goes and gets herbs for you. The magpie's the one with the invisible thieving boost, which I think has a lot more to it. The bloated leech as well is actually a pretty good one. That's what I'm probably going to start using my crimsons for. Spirit terror birds really. So the bull ant is going to be our best gold familiar, all the way up to level 52. So that's a decent sort of run on that as well. And in terms of greens, maybe it is like the magpie and the macaw are going to be the best ones for a little while. But yeah, we're done really well. Again, I think the plan of going to camp out 60 mage is going to be a really nice benefit, because then I can go and get the magic cape, the staff, and we'll have a very strong sort of combat style to go and do quests and do other stuff as well. And to be fair, I think that's what I'm going to go and do for the next couple of hours actually, is go and camp that and try and get that to level 60. I do think it's a real nice thing to have on the account, is the ability to have a combat stat which is very strong. And to be fair, with how well we drop the charms, I think I'll end up going to do my melee stats there as well. Just because with the melee stats, I can do much longer trips, because I could just go and like spend a bit of cash on a scrimshaw vampirism. And that will pretty much make the cave bugs pretty AFK. Not to mention they are weak to crush as well, which is also a nice little buff on that as well. But what I'm also going to do as well, as you can see here, I have a lot of things I can go and unlock in the fort. A lot of things to go and buy for it as well. I think I'm going to pretty much go and just kit out all of the fort while I go and edit some videos and just get prepared and stuff. It's a really good thing to have this because it means I can go and extend the Vault for Inventory storyline, which we want to be doing that because it's really beneficial to the account. And just things like the Town Hall means I'll be getting passive XP, which I can put on bonus XP as well for agility. That's how I'm just going to give agility a little bit of a bump. I'll have a chapel to go and train my own prayer, admittedly. Not as good as what a Gilded Altar will be, but it does have its own benefits of it can save bones. The command center as well is very nice because you can link some stuff to it. Again, going to have to do some quests for it, but it's just starting to build out the fort, which I do think is a bit progressive and just doing some stuff going forward as well. So yeah, I'm going to go and do that now. So I'm going to have to spend a little bit of money on some U-frames. 48 U-frames for the top tier of like the workshop is quite brutal, but I do have some refined planks actually. I might just go and make my own. But hopefully when we return, I will have a brand new and kitted out fort. However, I'm going to do all that in the downtime between this and the start of the next episode. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We've definitely picked the pace up on the account, doing a little bit of combat, improving the summoning. Currently, our combat level is now a 66 combat. And with doing all those summoning levels as well, we have gone past the 1100 total level mark as well. And we are definitely looking a lot more mid-level now. I do think over the next couple episodes, we are going to target things like Necromancy, Archaeology, Dungeoneering and Slayer just to bump that total level up without going too mad on the stats as well. But let me know what you guys are currently doing, what you're planning, what suggestions would you make to this account to move it forward and to progress it as well. I want to try and cover all the real big like sort of lower level and mid tier stuff, which I do think we've got most of them. I think that the next thing we're looking to do is to get into a point where quest wise we're good enough to go and do achievement diaries. And the achievement diary awards will be a nice little way to sort of class us into the mid territory when we can go do all the medium ones as well. However, going to wrap the video up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.